We've reached the end of another decade of Stephen King movies and adaptations, which means it's time to rank them. Let's count down all of the stuff from the noughts. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson, at Dave Musson on Instagram. This is a place where I talk to you about all things Stephen King. Do check out the link in the description for my range of Stephen King themed band shirts, my collection of short stories, Once More Around the Sun, and a bunch of other stuff you can get involved with. But most of all, thank you so much for giving this video a try. I really hope you like it. And if you do, click subscribe, check out what else I've got on this channel. So normally, week in, week out here, I'm going through the movies and adaptations of Stephen King's works at the moment, in chronological order. Last time out, we covered the brilliant Dolan's Cadillac, which means we are at the end of the noughts, which in turn means it's time to do a ranking, because I like to rank these movies every decade. I've done previous rankings of the 90s, and I clustered the 80s and 70s together because there are only a couple in the 70s, so do go and check those out if you're into rankings. So this video is going to be my personal ranking of the 15 movies and adaptations that came out in the 2000s. Going to be completely spoiler free, so nothing for you to worry about there. And I'd love to hear your rankings of this decade. Which movies from this decade did you love? Which ones did you not love so much? Do you agree with my list at all? Just get involved. Just bear in mind it is my list. I'm not trying to provide a definitive list. This is very much my personal preference. Of course, if you've missed any of my full 19 reasons to watch any of these, they are available elsewhere on my channel. Do go and check them out if any tickle your fancy. Okay, as I said, 15 movies and adaptations to rank. Going to be completely spoiler free, so don't worry about that. Let's get into it, shall we? From least favourite to most favourite, here is my ranking of the Stephen King movies and adaptations from the 2000s. Okay, at 15, bottom of my list. Objectively should be Dolan's Cadillac, because that definitely is the worst one. But subjectively, it's the Dead Zone TV series. And why? Because you took a dagger to my heart and butchered my favourite Stephen King book and stretched it out into 6 unnecessary seasons of absolute waffle. There's maybe 2 or 3 good moments in the first season, but God, just no. Why did you have to do that? Why? Why? No, absolutely no. It's bottom of my list. There we go. Not sorry. Okay, at 14 is Dolan's Cadillac. As I said in my video for this last time out, just somebody please make this not exist. Christian Slater's kind of fun. Wes Bentley sucks. The whole movie sucks. Yeah, if you've not watched it, don't bother. At 13 is The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, the prequel to Rose Red that nobody really asked for, that didn't really have any involvement from Stephen King, and was just a TV release that subsequently went on to DVD and had a book tie-in with it. I mean, honestly, who cares, right? Really? But it's still better than the other two I've already mentioned. At 12, it's Riding the Bullet. This could have been great. You know, I'm a sucker for a Mick Garris adaptation, but this one is just too silly. From the reefer-smoking Grim Reaper to the incredibly rude talking crow, I'm just out. David Arquette, admittedly, is brilliant in this, but the rest of it, nah. It just felt like 90 minutes of some boomer basically trying to get across the fact that he really likes the Beatles. It's like, we get it, but like, please, if you're going to set a movie in the 60s, at least make it look like it's in the 60s. At 11, Rose Red. Now, admittedly, this is a great premise, and there is an edited version here that is spectacular. If this had been a 90-minute movie, this could have been absolutely wonderful. But, what was it, 4 hours of miniseries? Too bloated, too much. And despite an exceptional Stephen King cameo as a pizza delivery guy, even that goes on for too long. Like, me talking about it now, I'm talking about it for too long. Like, nah, okay? At 10, Hearts in Atlantis. This this film kind of defines trying too hard. It's trying too hard to be sentimental. It's trying too hard to be really deep and meaningful and poignant, and just failing miserably. And it's such a weird story to pick to try and make that kind of movie. Like, a couple of good performances, sure, but you're not Shawshank. You're not The Green Mile. You're not Stand By Me. Stop trying to be. At 9, I've got the Salem's Lot miniseries. Again, this has a couple of really good moments. It has some scenes from the book that I really enjoyed that the 1979 miniseries didn't cover. So I give it kudos for that. And Rob Lowe is a beautiful man to look at, sure. But a lot of this feels phoned in, and a lot of the decisions seem a little bit strange as well. And it doesn't make enough use of James Cromwell as it should have done. At 8, Firestarter 2 Rekindled. Now, I actually surprised myself in really enjoying the concept of this. A sequel to Firestarter I didn't realise I wanted, but actually really enjoyed catching up with Charlie in her early 20s and seeing where the shop had got to at that point. We can say a very cool concept, some really fun moments. It's a bit too long, but Malcolm McDowell was pretty effective in this as well. Like, I had fun with it, for sure. At 7, it's the Carrie made-for-TV remake. This is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. I actually really like it. I like how faithful it is to the book. I like how they try and tell the story through police interviews, which kind of mimics the fake reports and all of that stuff from the book. And I think Angela Bettis as Carrie is really, really good. Like, obviously not as iconic as Sissy Spacek, but a wonderful performance. The ending really lets it down, though. Really lets it down. At 6, the Nightmares and Dreamscapes anthology series. 8 episodes, 3 of which truly excellent, and 2 more of which were really, really good. Like, I was excited to go back and rewatch this, but also a little apprehensive, thinking, is this going to hold up? Because I remembered it being okay, and I was genuinely surprised at how much I enjoyed it. There's a lot to get out of that miniseries. The Battleground episode, that's basically a silent episode, really good. You know, they got a hell of a band, very fun. Autopsy Room 4, also very fun. The end of the whole mess, Road Virus Heads North, they're my favourite too. Really, really well done. And as you know by now, I would love this to be revived, and I would love a second season of it. So there you go, at number 6. At number 5, Desperation. I was not expecting Desperation to be this high on my ranking for the decade, but I'd forgotten just how brilliant the first 20 minutes are. Ron Perlman going off, hooking you in, and just being utterly terrifying. Again, it's a bit too long, but those opening 20 minutes are so good that you care enough to watch the rest of it. Steven Webber's in there as well, Tom Skerritt. It's a good cast, and it's a solid adaptation. It's definitely upper tier Mick Garris for sure. And number 4, probably the most shocking one for me in this list, being this high up, is Dreamcatcher. Way better than I remembered. A wonderful cast who make up the core 4, who really drive this. And the first half of this movie in particular is really, really excellent. Like, those 4 friends just chewing the fat, catching up, hanging out, being dudes. Really great. And it's excellent right up until the aliens turn up. The second half does fall off the rails a little bit, but it's still fun. And like I said, way better than I remembered. And if you've not watched Dreamcatcher for a while, go back and give it another watch, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And number 3, Secret Window. Another guilty pleasure of mine. I just like this, okay? Johnny Depp is weird, he's quirky, but he's very engaging. I like these mannerisms he came up with. And it's just a really competently made, tense, twisty thriller. And if you go into it having not read the story, I think it's really effective. And even if you do know the story, I think it works as a movie. I just like it. It's my list, so I can say that. Okay, 2 left. And if you've been watching week to week, you won't be surprised which 2 are left. It's time for you to guess which one wins out, gets the number 1 spot. So my number 2 is 1408. This one is just absolutely terrific. The perfect example of how to pad out a short story to a feature-length movie in a way that not only complements and sits in well with the story, but enhances it, makes it even more engaging and interesting. This one is genuinely scary. Brilliant performance from John Cusack driving this. Some very cool effects as well. Creepy, engrossing, in and out in less than 2 hours too. Yeah, bring it on. I love it. Train. But that, of course, means the top of my list for the noughts is The Mist. Like I've said in that video, one of the very best Stephen King adaptations ever. Such a great cast, amazing performances, scary. It's the best King movie that deals with both actual monsters and human monsters. See it in black and white for the very best trip. And my God, the ending. Let's just say it. The best ending in cinema. That train is still going. Train! Well, there we go. What did you think of my ranking? Let me know your choices in the comments. What's your favourite Stephen King movie or adaptation from the noughts? What's your least favourite? Do you agree with my choices? Come and share them below. I'd love to hear from you. Love to chat with you in the comments. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Don't forget to take a look at my range of Stephen King themed band shirts. Check out my collection of short stories, Once More Around the Sun, which people seem to like, which is nice. You can sign up to my newsletter, check out the Constant Writers podcast. Most of all, thank you so much for giving this video a shot. If you enjoyed it and you've not yet subscribed, why not click subscribe so you don't miss any future videos? And if you are already subscribed, then hey, share this with a friend who might also dig it too. And do come around again soon. Next time, we've got another book special before we get onto the adaptations again. So hopefully I'll see you for that.